Hello, here we are with a review of the Nikon Coolpix S800c. Now this is a product we've been eagerly looking forward to here at Clove Technology, and the reason being it's a compact camera that is running Android. It's the world's first compact camera to run Android. Of course you've got smartphones that have a camera on them, but this is a dedicated standalone camera. And as you can see, it's got the sort of compact camera form factor. If I just bring in something that's equivalent, you can sort of see that it's a similar sort of size. Okay, it's a little bit bigger, but we've got a different screen size on here, but you've got that sort of portability feel about the Nikon Coolpix, whereas you've got the other end of the scale with a digital SLR like this, and you can see the comprehensive size difference. Of course the image quality is somewhat different between the two, and the capability is very much different, but you get the idea that the Coolpix comes in at a compact camera size. I mean, you've got your smartphone sort of size. Here's a Galaxy S3. You can see that it's shorter, it's not as wide, of course it's thicker. Screen sizes on the back are of course different as well, but this has an 8 megapixel camera. The Nikon Coolpix has a 16 megapixel backlit sensor, 10 times digital zoom, and then you've got the flash, you've got the light sensor, you've got microphones on here. You've got your shutter button on the top, which is nice. So many smartphones with Android don't have a physical camera button. You've got that here. And you've also got a really nice control that you'd expect to see on a compact camera for zoom. And on a smartphone, you often actually have to use the volume keys or on screen buttons to do that. So on the back here, you have got the 3.5-inch touchscreen display. You've got keys here synonymous with Android: back, home, and menu. On the bottom we've got a 1/4-inch tripod mount, got a speaker, we've got the slot for the memory card and the battery. It's a 1050 milliamp hour battery, and it takes memory cards up to 32 gig in capacity Sdxc, not Sdxc, which is a real shame considering this is a state-of-the-art camera. Not to support Sdxc is a bit of a disappointment. We've got a USB port here for charging. It's a proprietary connection. Got the lanyard connector there, and then we've got HDMI out for connecting to a display. So our initial impressions of this weren't so great, but having been using it for about a week or so now, we've got to say that we are more impressed than we thought we were going to be. You've got a very vanilla Android experience on the home screen here. There's not really much customization that has been done by Nikon, but you can see they've added a few shortcuts to play, shooting, and upload for the camera functionality, which we'll come back to in just a moment. We've got some shortcuts here that we've placed on the home screen to demonstrate some of the features that you've got here. So first of all, Twitter. The whole point of this camera is that you can share content from the camera around the world, and with Twitter is one example where you could upload your media. So we've got the Twitter application here. We can scroll through our tweets, we can deal with all of our account functionality right here on the Nikon. We've got Instagram, so we can see people that we're following. We can upload a picture from the camera or the photo gallery, so that's really cool. Bearing in mind this is all about sharing photos, you can do it directly from the really good camera that is on the front here. We've got Facebook as well, so here we are on the Clove Technology page. You can interact with the page like you would on any other smartphone, but of course you've got the main feature of adding your photos. YouTube, so running over Wi-Fi. There's no 3G built into this device, but you can search through here and you see you got all the keyboards and everything. Now it's a bit weird typing on a camera, the thickness of the device, etc. Doesn't feel quite so natural, but you get used to it after a little while. So running over Wi-Fi here, we're just loading up a video.
Here we are with a side-by-side comparison of the LG Optimus
So it's actually pretty good on screen. It might be a bit tricky to actually tell on the video here, but the screen is quite bright. I mean, it's not AMOLED sort of bright, but more than acceptable for watching back a few clips on the device. We've got the web browser, so we're going through here to the Clove website, and again, very much like you'd have if you were on a smartphone. You can go through to the full website rather than our mobile site. You can pinch and zoom. You can double tap into the pages and everything will render better for viewing on the screen of this device. Let's go into the applications tray, and you can see that you've got all the sort of standard things you get with Android. So you've got your contacts, your Google Plus, your Gmail, it all comes down here, and you can see we've got some notifications in the bar up here as well to show you that it's very much an Android device. You've got navigation on here, so there is GPS inbuilt into the camera. Because you've got no 3G connectivity, navigating sort of around the country might be a bit tricky. You'd need to use Wi-Fi. But you do have the option there should you wish, or you could share a connection from another mobile device potentially. We've got Angry Birds on here. Whilst we don't know what actual processor is in here, the device is capable of running certain games. It seems that you can download most applications to this device. We haven't tried too many, and there's going to be some that of course don't work, but just for demonstration purposes, let's just show you this running. So there you go, you can see that that's working on there. So you're playing Angry Birds on a digital camera, which is rather interesting. So we've got Maps, we've got Messenger, Music, Google Search, Google Talk, Web Search. We can go into the Play Store. And it seems to have lost our Wi-Fi connection. It's a shame. Let's just go into the settings. And we can go down to About Device, and you can see it's a Nikon Coolpix S800c. So we look at the storage. You can see we've actually taken out the SD card at the moment, but there is internal storage. There's 619 meg available here at the moment. And then you've got all of your other settings, from be it from the display in terms of the brightness. You can control that here as well. You've got your wireless settings, etc. So if we go into play here, this takes you back to your playback for the photos that you've taken. And you've got controls here, so you can pinch and zoom like you would on an Android device. You can scroll through them. You can play back video clips. So it's just a quick bit of video we've taken. You've got the options for deleting, for sharing. You've got the ability to share them via Wi-Fi as well. And you can go straight in to the camera, and then you've got the lens on the front that opens up, and you can see I can control the zoom here, and that's a really nice feature, as we mentioned before. You don't get that on smartphones. Press the display button, and we've got a whole variety of settings down here. You can press menu to get more settings, including shooting mode, the ISO and white balance. You can go further into the setup for things like print date, vibration reduction, etc. And come back out of that. You've got more options, including an easier auto mode. You've got scene modes, so that preset some of the sort of settings for you to get the best shot. You've got special effects. You can see here there's only a small selection available, and this is what I wanted to point out. If I just bring in another device, if we go into the camera on the Samsung Galaxy S3, when it comes into special effects or just look at the number you've got here. So you've got 5 on the Nikon. You haven't got loads on the Galaxy S3, but you've got a fair few more, which I think is a bit of a downer really, considering this is a dedicated camera. It'd be nice to see some more settings and features within the Nikon. You know, some of the controls you've got here, metering, ISO, they only come up when you go into the auto mode for ISO. So we go into the menu, we've got some of those options there. It'd be nice to see that throughout as an option that you could access if you wanted, but you can't have it all your own way. It's just, I think if someone was really using this and they want to get the most out of the camera, that would be a nice thing to have. You've got movie mode, so this records in full 1080p, or you can indeed change the resolution to your preferred setting. You've got some settings here regarding touch shooting on the screen, whether the touch screen acts as a shutter button. You've got the focus modes, and you've got wind noise reduction. It'd be nice to have an option to turn the microphone off on the video recording. We haven't noticed that option throughout. Sometimes you do just want to take the sound off. And then you've got more settings over here regarding macro mode, etc. So I'm not going to go through everything in detail there. Now, overall, our impressions have been pretty good of this camera. It's better than when we first unboxed it. Some of the downsides are the lack of Sdxc support. We think that's a shame. The battery is only 1050 milliamp hour in capacity. We haven't noticed it chew through it really fast, but if you, like many people, have a compact camera sort of in the car, in your bag, that you want to get out every so often, I feel there could be a real danger that you go to use this and you know, there would be no battery left, or you'd be cutting it very fine, and that could be because of the Android operating system drawing more power. In terms of lag, we haven't really noticed anything too major. There have been a couple of times where there have been some lag. Now, we don't know what the processor speed is on here. It seems capable, but it might be something you get happen more often once you've installed more applications and things on the device. The quality of the pictures have been very good. We're interested to see how they compare to the Samsung Galaxy camera and how this actually compares to the Galaxy camera. I think the Galaxy camera, which isn't available at time of recording, will actually be the better product. However, Nikon are known for their imaging products, whereas Samsung are less known for that, although they're still a big player. I think the image results that you get from the Nikon are going to be better than from the Samsung, but that's only an observation at this time. One other sort of little annoyance is pressing things like the shutter button from the home screen doesn't activate the camera. You have to go into the shooting mode and then take the picture. I have noticed sometimes a lag on power down. Sort of press the button to switch it off, and it does switch off, and you get this green sort of flashing light, and whilst it's sort of powering down, now I've turned it off sort of completely there, you get no response. So if you've been out and about, taken a few pictures and thought, right, that's it, I'm done, and turn the camera off, and then all of a sudden you think, no, actually I better take a picture of that, there's no rapid response. Now once it's shut down, it does switch back on very quickly. So in a moment that will have completed its shutdown. There you go. So I can press the power button and I'm straight on and into the camera. So it's not a massive thing, but it's just a bugbear that could become an issue for some people. So all in all, it's nice to see that Nikon are pushing the way forward with this, with an Android camera. Whether it'll get the update to Android 4, I doubt it. That's where the Galaxy camera will win. It shows the evolution of cameras and where they're going. But priced at around about 350 odd pounds, we think this is quite an expensive piece of kit, considering you can get a smartphone for the same money, which still takes Very good photos, allows you quicker access from switch on within 1 or 2 seconds, and gives you more functionality in the fact that it has 3G, the phone capability, because you don't have that built in here. But that's just our observations, so thanks for watching.